Hey y'all, once again, welcome back. Today we have a layout update and lots to cover, from models to signals to scenery and coal trains. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are at the Asheville District layout. We got a couple updates for you. We'll take a look at new scenery, updates to the layout itself, some new signals, rolling stock, and locomotives as well. So all that in the next few minutes. Hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. We're here at the base of the peninsula on the layout. This is, for anyone who is new, prototype freelance layout in the Carolina Mountains of the Norfolk Southern S line. So here we have train 162, and we'll take a look at that here in a few minutes. One of the things I'm most excited about, which you can probably see here, is the layout skirting. Usually I try to focus on the layout itself, but here I really kind of want to show you what's underneath the layout. A lot of times we have exposed wood and storage boxes underneath the layout. As you can see, a section that's not quite done here, and it really changes the overall look of the layout. It makes it look much more clean. And really finishes kind of the overall look of the layout. So something I'm really excited about. We got the whole peninsula done. We're working on the lower level. So I'd say we're about a half to 2/3 of the way done with the skirting. And it's really just cleaning up the layout. Another update is the Duke Power coal train. If you saw my last layout update, you notice that I've been working on a DKPX or Duke Power coal train. This is one that was shared by both CSX and Norfolk Southern, depending on which year the railroad had the contract, and delivered coal to the Duke Power coal plants. But nobody makes DKPX coal cars in HO scale, so I've been slowly rebuilding an entire train of 40 to 50 cars of auto flood, 2 or 3 hoppers. So these are all made by Rapido. I've currently got them weathered. I've updated the trucks and wheels, and also added scale rotary couplers with lower shelves on them. So that's something that took quite a bit of time, but we're currently working towards a finished train here. For the original 7,000 or 700,000 series cars, I still need to add all of the lettering and numbers for DKPX. The other half of the train is made up of a lot of leasers or ex-leasers, which I've got just about finished now. These are NDYX or DKPX, which was renumbered from an old leaser, as you can see here. Some of these yellow-sided ones are Exact Rail Auto Flood cars, which used to be CEFX, but then were renumbered to DKPX. I've also got all the little rivets painted on those. So there's an update on the Duke Power coal train. As you can see, that was a lot of work. I've also been working on collecting the power for the CSX run version of the Duke Power coal train. So I've got actually 4 Overland GE locomotives. First one is an ES44. We've got that weathered. Just need to add a keep alive. Other than that, it'll be done. Here's another CSX AC6000. And then a second CSX ES44. Also an Overland locomotive here. And these 3 will be used to pull the coal train. I actually have a 4th, which is over in the Asheville engine shop, that will be used for helper service when the CSX train runs. Other updates, I went ahead and updated this 5071. This is a GP38-2 with brass handrails. I've got the little brake wheel stick there on the front of the locomotive. You can see the old Southern lettering bleeding through, and then a train device, which is sitting here on the side step of the locomotive. So just a neat little update here to the locomotive as well, sitting with a GP59. A couple other updates come down here to the lower level. We have some new updates to signals. My friend and fellow modeler Kennedy Parnell has been really doing an incredible job on helping me update and custom build some signals. I give him all the credit for these. This is one of the old BLMA signals, which still looks great, but isn't accurate or nearly as detailed as the ones Kennedy's making. So this one coming out of the mine here, although it looks similar, has the correct Norfolk Southern style ladder and cage, as well as the wide Norfolk Southern signal head that has really cool lenses that are bright when you're down at track level, but not quite as bright when you look at them from an angle. And that's kind of in comparison with the super bright LEDs you'd see in the BLMA or Atlas signal bridge, which you can really see from any angle. So just a neat little realism side effect here, or the signals he's building. And we're currently working on one, or he's currently building one that'll go right here for the main lines at the control point at Murphy Junction. And I'm not quite sure why the signal's not turning red. It should. You can see we've got the dispatcher panel here. That's why. We're running a new beta version of CATS, which controls our signals, and it looks like it just bugged out. So that is why the signal's not working. So here's one of the other signals that Kennedy's done. Really an incredible job. We've also fully finished the door here. This is a big project we did to redo the door after the old one warped. So we've got scenery on the door. We've got the backdrop, which I showed you in the previous update, which are tracks as the door opens. Currently got a train running over it, but I thought I'd just show you the finished scenery. Here we have a little taco stand sitting next to the tracks with a small kitchen area in the back. Some chairs, which give you a great view of the tracks. And a nice parking lot here as well. In the background, we have an old building, which is abandoned, has an old chain link fence sitting around it. And you can see the old track, which used to service the dock here at the small plant. Here in the door, we actually modeled a really cool wreck scene, something my dad did. Looked like somebody ran a little too fast over the crossing and hit the telephone pole here. So we got the emergency vehicles, and then one of the new East Coast Circuit's emergency vehicles, which you haven't heard of them, make really cool lit vehicles. You can plug into the kind of 12-volt system here on the layout. So it's got all the flashing lights. Adds just a really cool touch to the layout as well. Eventually we'll add the working crossing gates and flashing lights here on the door as well. So lots of work to be done, but for the most part the scene is just about finished. And you can see some of the fun names of the stores we have here on Main Street on the bridge.
Additionally, something that I'm really excited to share with you guys is the opportunity to meet you at the Amherst Model Railroad show in Springfield, Massachusetts at the end of January this month. So that'll be January 27th and 28th, and I'll actually be going with my friends from Lombard Hobbies. They invited me up to attend the show with them, and it also kind of gives me a home base where I can meet you guys and hang out with them as well. So I'll be at their booth from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. or noon, both Saturday and Sunday, and then again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So swing by the booth, come say hi, I'd love to meet you. I also have a couple locomotives that I'll be giving away here. These are all brand new factory sound-equipped locomotives, and the first one you saw there was an Athearn Genesis SD70 with tsunami sound. The second locomotive there was a Southern Pacific AC44 from Scale Trains, and that one has lock sound. And then I also had really fun time weathering these Erie Lackawanna F units. I've never done an F unit, never had an F unit on the layout, so it was a lot of fun to, one, see it on the layout, and then two, weather it like you'd see in the prototype pictures. And then the fourth locomotive we'll be doing a giveaway for is the BC Rail Alco. This is a Bowser model, has the double ditch lights and all the marker lights and headlights like you would see in the BC Rail units. This is a Bowser model that also has lock sound. And then also did a couple cars, so we'll be doing a giveaway every couple hours. Here's one of the new Aurora Miniatures box cars. This is an Atlas covered hopper, which has the modern safety stripes and was really given a nice wash and grime, but nothing too dirty because it is a newer car. Here's an Athearn Genesis tank car. New Rapido box car. This is one of the waffle-sided box cars that was patched for VCY. And then a really cool old cement hopper. The Blue Circle Cement Company was one of the first industries we had on our original layout before we built this one. So I made it look nice and pretty dirty and grimy. And then the last boxcar here is a Missouri Pacific extended length boxcar. So again, January 27th and 28th, I hope to see you all at the Amherst Model Railroad show and would love the opportunity to get to meet you.
Well, it's just about all that's new on the layout. The couple things that we would like to do here in the next year would be to obviously finish up this peninsula. We need to get some water and some rapids here on the river in the middle of the peninsula. I'd like to add a couple lights down there to the rafting store. And then coming over here, we'd also like to do some more trees. We actually have all of the super trees done. We want to make the entire kind of stretch of upper level here look just like this. It just takes a lot of trees and a lot of time. So eventually, and hopefully soon in the next couple months, we'll be able to get some trees up over here. It'll really finish this scene and kind of make for some really Awesome scenery and running between Grovestone and Old Fort. Here modeled after the Carolina Mountains. We also have a couple more trees to add over here to the peninsula. And once the trees and water are in, it'll really just about finish up the peninsula. The scenery will be pretty much done in the middle of the layout here, which will be great. We'll finish up the skirting, and then we'll also be updating a couple of signals, and we'll be reworking the rotary dumper up here. I've talked with my dad about it, and this is a great version 1. We've had a couple kinks here and there, so whether we kind of rebuild it or completely build a new one, still to be decided, but we'll definitely be kind of doing some updates on this as well for smoother operation. One of the biggest problems we've had is with the plastic Walther's dumper, we've noticed it's starting to warp a little bit, and then with the plastic gears here, a lot of the coal is actually getting caught in that. So we'll find a way to hopefully kind of rebuild that for smoother operation, something that'll work better, and we'll go from there. So we'll see how it works. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.